Patience Ozokwor is the actor's actor.
Some can think but have no sense.
Her name is so popular among many generations of Nigerians.
Because I have something at the back of my mind. I am determined to expose the ills in the society.
So it is right for the men to grab those laws and put them into their pockets and rape a girl just like this.
Yet Africa celebrates you, Africa loves you.
I know. You can't even stop loving me.
Look, if I tell you how much I make from the sale of Kai Kai, Calabar Kai Kai, not this local Kai Kai here. Face her for me. Face her! Because if I open this my mouth, she will find herself in a coffin just within 2 minutes. You are talking trash, so I don't want to waste my time with you.
Elisa, I'm talking trash. Elisa, go back there. Go back there and sit down. Let me tell you, I am your late husband's brother. You have to give me that respect. Let me tell you, I have never slapped you before, have I? Go there and sit.
Listen, I think you have malaria. And I suggest you go and meet Eugene, chemist. He will cure you.
I haven't beaten you up. Look, mad yourself, oh.
That was the first scene I saw of her in 2003, and believe me when I say I instantly fell in love. I mean, I fell in love with her as an artist. I was enamored by her art. I had never seen a Nollywood actress be so audacious on screen and command her scenes with such authority. Later that week, I found out her name was Patience Ozokwor, and I also discovered I was not the only one in love. Well, that was until I watched this scene.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, very sure. The little we did wasn't effective. My son went against all odds to bring that girl into his house. Now he doesn't even know or regard me as his mother. I demand for justice.
Do you want me to invoke the spirit of Obonje upon that girl?
Yes, that must be done.
Okay.
The switch up was insane. One scene made this woman arguably the most hated woman in Nigeria. Again, it turned out I was not alone. I hated her, my mother hated her, my mother's friends hated her, my friends hated her, everyone hated her. She was too good as a villain to receive any iota of grace from us.
And what comes out very prominently about you, Mama G, is the fact that you play the role of a wicked woman so well. And yet Africa celebrates you, Africa loves you.
In those days when people were not exposed, people who play such terrible roles get it hot from the streets.
In fact, there is this infamous story of an elderly woman attacking her at a mall for being such a psychopathic villain. Do you know how convincing you have to be as an actor to have that as a problem? To be so good as a villain that people can't distinguish between reality and fiction. There are only 3 actors that I know that had to deal with this problem throughout their careers. Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates in Psycho, Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance in The Shining, and Imelda Staunton as Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter.
Students will raise their hands when they speak in my class.
Actors who were so good in their villainous eras that it's almost impossible to break free from the negative perception imposed on them by their great acting. Patience Ozokwor sits high on this list. At this point, it is safe to say she is a legend.
Do you know the way to my house?
Yes, Mama. Yes.
Run! I said, come to my...
Hurry up. Officer, small smile. No, I have one hand.
If you need 4 hands, you won't see my daughter's own.
But then there is the question of how. How did this random radio broadcaster from Enugu transition into Nollywood and carve out a niche for herself? With Patience Ozokwor, the first thing I noticed was her intention.
That was how I got into the industry without knowing what was involved, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. I came and I started studying because I'm someone that loves to study my environment, study people around, know who to relate with and who to...
She came into Nollywood with a unique mindset. In one interview, she described an instance in which her peers referred to her as the Liz Benson of Enugu. Now, if you are watching this and you don't know who Liz Benson is, then there is a high chance you're a Gen Z. Now, let me put it this way. Liz Benson was arguably the most popular actress in Nollywood in the late 1990s.
It's too late to be out in the moon. What are we all doing?
She was the one her colleagues looked up to because she had everything going on for her. The talent, the reach, the looks, the critical acclaim, everything was just on her side.
You can't just take laws into your hands. Exactly. Okay.
I'm sure you get the point now. Anyway, in the early 2000s, Patience Ozokwor emerged like the sun in the east.
Into their pockets and rape a girl just like this. Don't pretend you don't know the psychological effect this will have on this girl.
And I mean this literally. She asserted her presence in Nollywood, appearing in small Igbo movies from Enugu, hence the name, the Liz Benson of Enugu. However, my favorite part of this story is Patience Ozokwor's smartness. She shut down the comparison and relied on her talents to build a name and a brand for herself. And I like to think she was successful with that. So successful that by the mid-2000s, she was arguably the most sought-after woman in Nollywood.
She actually cried.
Oh, very goosebumps right there.
Yes, and then she told us a story about the legend Miriam Makeba.
Yes.
When she met with Miriam Makeba, and Miriam Makeba made her promise that she was going to make her meet with me. And then she said all through that she tried to reach me, she couldn't. And then the woman died without she fulfilling her own side of it.
Her elite career as a radio presenter certainly helped her transition into acting.
Cousin now said, you have to go to Chief Zebudayo Korigwengobo, his office. They need somebody. I now remember that you worked with Radio Nigeria as an announcer. Maybe you could do something for him.
In a 2009 interview with Punch magazine, Nollywood icon revealed, if you're able to do anything on radio, it would be easier to perform on television, because on radio, you have to project everything that is needed as regards emotion. If you are angry, it is through your voice people will know that. If you are happy, it is through your voice that people will know that, because they can't see you. If you can act on radio where no one is seeing you, then it would be easier for you to excel on TV. And that makes a lot of sense. In fact, I feel like that quote is packed with information for many young actors. Anyway, after starring in her first movie, Authority, in 1999, Patience Ozokwor would go on and appear in 50 other movies within the next decade, cementing her legacy as one of Africa's most iconic actresses. In my opinion, this woman carried Nollywood on her back for the whole decade. She was everywhere, in commercials,
Now Mama G go take care of this house. Look at
Let me see.
on the news, on billboards, and even in music. Are you shocked? Ever heard of the name Mama G? That's our Patience Ozokwor's music alter ego, kind of like her Sasha Fierce or Slim Shady thing she had going on for herself.
The name Mama G actually came from a movie I shot, Old School. My name was Geraldine. I was calling myself Mama G. Then I'll tell them G for General to make them happy. General in London, General in there, General in all the special joints around. Because that's where I got the name.
Okay.
On stage and in music videos, she was Mama G, G for General. And on our screens, she was our beloved mother and dreaded mother-in-law, Patience Ozokwor. Mind you, she achieved all of this despite grappling with the weight of losing a husband in 2000, less than a year after her first movie role. It takes an insane amount of mental strength to bounce back so smoothly, but that is not what made her a star. We fell in love with the characters she played because of their sharp-wittedness.
Listen, I think you have malaria, and I suggest you go and meet Eugene chemist. He will cure you.
Their feminist ideals.
Tell them what transpired between both of us. And why you murdered our relationship.
And the unintentional humor sprinkled all over their monologues.
Invitation or no invitation, Mama G must be there. So what are you celebrating?
Patience Ozokwor delivered her lines in a fashion like we had never seen before. She came into Nollywood at a time when most middle-aged actresses had mastered the act of playing grieving widows and tortured wives with deadbeat husbands. She arrived in the industry and challenged its pre-existing norms about female characters. In Ukwa, she held her own against an arrogant brother-in-law.
Because you know why I've come here. No, I'm big. I'm greater than you. You can't do anything.
In Ladies Club, her Golden Age Nollywood wig and makeup inspired our mothers in nearby local hair salons.
Don't forget whom you are. You are the Tigress of Queen's Club. It's high time you made Grace feel your fangs. Okay? Yes! Yes. I am going to use those fangs to tear Grace into...
And just after 2003 or Sophia in London, Patience Ozokwor gave us her own version of Mama G in America.
Wait a minute, man. No. Damn! I wasn't deported from any goddamn Germany. I'm just coming from America and I got my papers here, everything here.
Her acting has given us some of Nollywood's most popular memes.
I am Patience Ozokwor. You call me Mama G and I say G for General.
Especially this GIF of her laughing in spiritual powers. And if the caption, my mother-in-law laughing in spiritual powers, makes no sense to you, then it means you need to go back in time and rediscover old Nollywood. Trust me, the gems are inexhaustible.
I know. You can't even stop loving me.